You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Good Tuesday evening to you, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Sim Sports Network and live coverage of the Epic Racing Association AMP Grading and Excavating Late Model Stock Car Series Southern National will be the scene of the event tonight. I was going to say crime maybe, but I hope it's not a crime. I hope it's not an assault on anybody's car or anybody's feelings. Guys are out getting a little pit party in. They're going to slow things down. They'll get the group back together, and they will do it again here momentarily. Scant field. A lot smaller than we were expecting tonight. So we'll see. Only about 4 minutes. Guys, you don't have long to get your over-unders in. Let's get those going. I'm waiting to see what number Mr. Bill picks tonight. And I'll tell you, Bill, I already picked 11. And I know we got 11 cars. That means every one of them can cause one. But I don't think they're going to do it. Somebody told me, embrace the suck. I don't think that's quite the proper term for this. I'll tell you, I want to get a look real quick down. Oh, boy, I wanted to get a look at that car before something bad happened to it. And I didn't get the opportunity, so let's see if we can get a better look at it here. Yeah, I thought that was a Hooters car. I don't know what it actually says on the side of it, but it says priority. So our priority 1. I don't know. I like it. You do Alan Kawicki, you've got my attention. I promise you. Probably one of my top 3 all-time favorite drivers ever. Only because he's the only one to ever win it as the driver and the owner of the same car. Oh, boy, Bill. You trying to stay close to me? Is that what you're trying to do, my friend? I got a 5, I got a 9, I got a 10, I got an 11. I'm waiting to see where everybody else comes in. And, you know, I picked 11 because the 11 car is not here. Let me just get that out there right now. I picked 11 because he ain't here. He frustrates me greatly by not showing up on Tuesday nights anymore. I see him a lot of other nights, so I'm not going to get on him too bad. He had bad luck last night over at DSRO. Still got time for your over-unders. Got about 2 minutes here. You're going to have all through the qualifying, all through the redraw, and then until that pace car rolls off to start our 60-lap feature. I know. No green hoops, man. I'm discouraged by that. A quick reminder before we get too far into the evening. Tomorrow night, roughly the same time that we went live tonight, we'll go live again. Midwest Truck Series. They'll be back to oval racing. No more weird, janky road course stuff. Although, I got to admit, that race at Lime Rock proved to be a hell of a lot more exciting than I anticipated it would be. Gordon Connor going with number 4. Yeah, if anybody knows Caleb Dyer or has contact with Caleb Dyer, he needs to get a hold of me. He's got a prize sitting waiting that I can't even ship out. The other ones are going to be going out by Thursday. So, Friday at the very latest. But my plan is to send them out. By Thursday. I'll have them all addressed tomorrow. So 4, 5, 9, 10, and 11 out of the pool. 4 over under. Get yours in. Let me just show you what you got a chance to win here. Right in the middle of the screen right there. That's what you can win. Front side, back side. Let's get down here and watch as some of our drivers are out here running laps right now. John Payette, the quickest right now, 14.73. It says 7.2 there, 14.60 for Rutherford. Rutherford quick. McLaughlin was tight behind him. John Brunner, 7th quick. Jeff Werdeman is on track. Werdeman jumps to 7th quick. Barry Hines to 9th quick. Here comes Dylan Connor coming out. We're going to watch him. Trying to get a little bit of heat in those tires. A little right rear slide getting into turn 1. That thing left a black streak about 40 feet long. We'll see where he got to go faster than 14.60. And he does it 14.4 seconds. He's one and done. So Connor, 14.4. We'll see where he ends up in the redraw. I don't see Joey Connor tonight. There's 3 or 4 guys I don't see in here this evening. $60 laps for the feature tonight. Going to be a fun one no matter what. I don't care if you got 8 cars, 10 cars, 15 cars. As long as they race respectfully and they race each other good, it's going to be a good show. And these guys are pretty good at that. There are some guys that tires get a little old, sometimes have a little trouble, but you get that in every single series on iRacing. I don't care where it's at. You're going to get that. So overall, pretty clean bunch. I don't think Pete Dillon's taking time in that 7 car. I don't know what is going on with Mr. Dillon, but I don't see him trying to roll out at all. So Barry Hines had troubles on his qualifying lap. He went 15:28, took it right into the pits. Something amiss on that 57 car. I don't know if we'll be here Sunday night or not, Adam. All that is going to be dependent upon the weather. If we're supposed to get the severe storms with the big hail and the tornadoes and all the nonsense, I will not be going out to work on the lake property. So I will be home, and I'll be here for it.
All right, drivers, we're getting ready for our JD7 Motorsports, also for the fans. Got our top 7 in qualifying in order. We'll randomize our lucky 7 3 times, and the third time will be our starting lineup. There's our first one, the second one, and our third and final spin of the wheel. We'll put our pole sitter right up on the front row. The 16 of Turnmeyer will join him on the outside. Row 2 will be the 77 of McLaughlin, followed by the 5 to his outside of Payette. Rutherford on the inside of row 3 with Werdeman flanking him. That'd be me, and Westendorf, our JD7 Motorsports Lucky 7 redraw driver. All right, we already did the drivers meeting, so give us a few seconds, and we'll be getting ready to grid the field. Roger, thanks for joining us tonight. Hello, fans. We'll be ready to race in a minute.
All right, you heard it. It is all done now. They know where they're going to start. Sorry you guys had to catch that kind of late. For some reason, it didn't want to let me watch the live stream, and I think I know what I did wrong, but I was getting in a hurry. I wasn't ready for him to pull me down there just yet. So Connor and Turnmeyer, McLaughlin and Payette, Rutherford and Werdeman, and then Westendorf. We forgot to start that, so we'll start that real quick. Make sure that all of our fans are working like they're supposed to. Copy, copy. So 11 cars here this evening. We are just waiting for them to finish getting through this session. And then we will get ready for the 60-lap feature. Running out of time quickly for your over-unders. I don't see Barb. I don't see Mindy. I don't see Jane. I'm trying to think of who else I don't see. I don't see Tiny Dancer either. So, Mr. Tiny Dancer. All right, we're going to go back to the sunlight. We're going to get ready to show you the starting grid. Dylan Connor will stay right where he qualified. Marvin Turnmeyer will move from the inside of row 2 to the outside of row 1. McLaughlin will scoot over. He'll be inside of row number 2. John Payette will move forward a row, and he'll start 4th. Rutherford is going to move forward. He'll start in the 5th spot, and Werdeman will slide over into that 6th starting spot. And then Westendorf will stay where he's at next to DJ Oxford, John Brunner and Barry Hines in row number 5, and Pete Dillon will be joining us at the back of the field. Outback Jack. All right, when the pace car rolls, that means there is no more over-under. So if you don't have it, you missed it now. So we're going to play with 5 people tonight. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much of a fight that 16 car puts up. Can he get out front? Can he grab the lead? This place is small. It's got some banking, but I can tell you the exits of these corners, if you try to overpower them, it'll make you pay, and it'll make you pay big time. The straightaways are banked as well. It's 105 degrees on the track. It is not going to be friendly to these tires tonight. 15 cars. I doubt it. I doubt it. All right, pace car is in. We're in the start zone, and the green flag waves. Turnmeyer looks like he wants to get a little racy quick here. I'm telling you, Connor's not going to let that happen. He wants the front. He wants to control everything. He wants everybody to have to do what he wants them to do. That is his MO, and usually he gets his way. He'll go just hard enough to get out front. He'll make you use your stuff up. And he's fighting hard to grab that lead. Turnmeyer, about 2 laps was all he could stand to trying to do it. He might get up there and give a little bumper tag. He didn't do it. Well, they just want to share. Sharing is caring, Adam Vinny. Connor, Turnmeyer, McLaughlin, and they've started to ease away from Rutherford in 4th, but I got a feeling that Mr. Rutherford is already working on conservation mode early in this one. Payette in behind, then Werdeman, Oxford. Little shuffle back here as Werdeman's going to go around, and I wasn't really paying attention right there. If he had help, he might have. He might have had just a tiny bit of assistance off the nose of the 22. It don't look like it. Looks like he just got down there and tried to overpower the exit. He didn't hit anything. He just made the tires super angry for a lap or 2 here. He'll have to catch the back of the field. So, caution number 1 on lap number 5. And nobody wins. You know, if I still enjoyed or still wanted to sit down and paint, Adam, I would probably create you something that was extremely unique and no one would want to touch it. Except you, obviously, to go and win in it. But, yeah, we would do that. But I do not do the painting stuff anymore. I used to, long time ago. Seems like it was 100 years ago, and really it was only about 3 or 4. All right, so Connor's got the point. Turnmeyer slid into 2nd. McLaughlin put himself in 3rd. Then Rutherford, Payette, Oxford, Westendorf, Brunner, Hines, Dillon, and Jeff Werdeman now tagging the back. He'll start at 11th. A lot of laps left. A lot of laps. All right. Caution is extended. I think somebody got a little bit out of line. Not sure. Uh-oh. Rutherford, the 70 car. Andrew Rutherford, and I don't know what happened. He was there and then he wasn't. Yeah, he was right there in line, and then he wasn't. 100 and, what did we say it was, 100 and what? 105 degrees.
Green, green, green.
All right, green flag back in the air. We're going to miss it a little bit. We were looking for Rutherford's car, got the camera set where we could try to see the whole infield, and he is just flat gone. Going to restart down the backstretch into 3 and 4, and once again, Turnmeyer is fighting hard on that high side. Wants to get that lead and make Connor have to do something. And Connor is not going to give that up. He is going to run hard. He is going to run just hard enough to get clear, and then he is going to settle back. Yeah, there's the mistake from Turnmeyer, and that'll do it. Connor will grab the lead, and now I promise you he is going to sit here and settle in on the pace. McLaughlin, Payette, Oxford. Payette got around Oxford on the restart. John Brunner, 6th place, solid. He's right in front of Pete Dillon. You're going to see that 7 car a few times tonight, I promise, because I always dig the paint scheme. I say that. That's a little bit of a false statement. Because I can't stand seeing it on the Cup car in NASCAR. Just can't stand it. Yeah, well, Adam, that would not surprise me one bit, honestly. That man has a style. And that style of driving is to make the tires about as mad as he can possibly make them. I do see Andrew Rutherford brought the 70 car back out. He's about 4, almost 5 laps down right now. Whoa, McLaughlin had him a moment on the exit of turn number 4. That car jigged left, jigged right, and he grabbed it all up. Back here, Pete Dillon looking to make a move on Brunner. He got the inside getting into the corner. Man, they almost touched right there, and that would have been disastrous. Probably for the 46 car, I'm going to say. Oh, that was DJ Oxford. Man, I'll tell you what, the bottom side of turn number 4, that is just evil. We'll see if Oxford gets through there clean this time. The people on the outside of turn number 1 could read the numbers on the passenger side door last time by. Battle for second. Marvin Turnmeyer going to hit the fence in the outside. We're in a drone cam this one. McLaughlin eases up alongside. Oh, he moved up a little. Turnmeyer moved down a touch. Close proximity racing. I'm sure a couple drivers are going to talk about that. All that dirt experience probably come in handy tonight, Mr. Vinny. I'm just saying. Just saying. If I ever decide to hang this microphone up, I'm going to put the helmet back on. I'm going back to racing just so I can go challenge Adam Vinny every single night. I don't care where he goes racing. That's going to be my goal. If I retire from broadcasting, I'm going back behind the wheel. Might put Adam into retirement. You never know. This is lap 16 before we catch caution number 2. We're creeping in on Gordon's number. In order to be washed up, I would have had to have been somewhat decent to begin with, and that's just not that's just not where I was. All right, pace car's getting out of the way. Time for our restart once again. Rutherford looks like he got a lap back. He's only 3 laps down now. They'll come out of 4. 17 in the books. This time, Payette up to second. He did not put up much of a challenge. He just wanted to get in line and ride. I think he's trying to save his stuff till late. Guy on the move right there. He is the 7 car. He is up 8 spots. He started 11th. He now runs in the 3rd spot, and he's looking for more. If Payette slips again, I'll bet we see the nose of that 7 car slip right up the inside of the 5 right there. McLaughlin still in the 4th spot. Werdeman, after his early spin, has recovered up to 5th. Oxford, Westendorf, Brunner, Hines, and then Rutherford in 10th. Marvin Turnmeyer looks like he might be done. As hard as he hit the outside wall with the front of that car, I would not be one bit surprised if that did not expire the engine. Am I going to run I'll run whatever color hoops go on the car. You bring them to the track, I'll put them on a car. I don't even care. The hoops are just the hoops, buddy. Jay Church in the chat over on YouTube, guys. Connor still out front. Working lap number 23. Top 5 are pretty tight right here. Oxford has got about a 10-car gap between he and Werdeman. And I'll tell you what, Andrew Rutherford, Oxford once again showing everybody down at the turn 1 side of the track. His driver or his passenger side door number is out of turn number 4. That is at least 2 or 3 times I've seen that out of the 22 car. And he knocked it into the left front of the 70. He's got that caved in on that right front corner. Right around the right front tire for Rutherford. I don't know if that's going to hurt or help the 70. But they are going to continue to battle the lap car. Well, that's Rutherford. He's 3 laps down, but he is up here racing. He is racing for that position. Oxford blinked out right there. Well, you're counting 5 horsepower per hoop. Is that what we do? So if I just put them on the back, I get 10 horsepower, or just put them on the front? We'll stagger them around the car, and every pit stop will rotate. Top 5 still in lockstep. Oh, Sean McLaughlin had him a moment. Coming out of turn number 2. Well, he slid that thing almost half the back straightaway. Only lost about 2 car lengths, but man, that car was so sideways coming up out of that well right there. Halfway this time by. Going to be a quick one tonight, guys. Going to be a real quick one. A little tail wagging going on. The 7, the 77, the 81 all did it this last time out of turn number 4. Mr. Nichols, welcome to the chat. There's my first Facebook. DJ Oxford, around he goes. Caution should be coming. He had wagged that thing a couple of 3 times before, and he just got a little overzealous right there. Just a tiny bit too much throttle, and he wasn't quite up off the bottom just yet. So, caution number 3 comes at lap 33. Our next 2 cautions get us into prize time. That's Gordon on 4 and Randy on 5. They were halfway. Somebody might win a prize. There is a wave around for the 70 car. He only needs 1 more. He'll be back on the lead lap. He was racing for positions. He was up there running about 5th or 6th. Westendorf, Oxford, and Brunner all went into pit road. Oxford is rolling off. We're doubled up. I think we're getting ready to go back to green. It's actually still 2 laps down. I thought he was down to 1 lap down, but it shows him 2 laps down. So we should go green the next time by. Thought I heard somebody roll another one. John Brunner still on pit road. And they are just now changing the left side tires on that car. Oh boy. We're getting ready to go green. He may not make it out in front of the field here. He'll get out. He is just going to be about 3/4 of a lap down though. But the green flag back in the air. Pete Dillon going to take advantage of being on the inside. Cars all over the place back here. That was Hines that got out of shape. I think he touched another car. Got him out of shape. He'll keep it facing forward. We'll stay green. Pete Dillon now. Driver still on the attack. Up 9 spots from where he started. Here comes Werdeman. Wardeman had an early spin. And since then, steadily marching his way through the field. We're about to have contact with the 5 and the 92. Wow. How the two of them got away from that without either one of them wrecking is pretty amazing, because Payette and Westendorf were all over one another coming out of turn number 2. A little brush of the fence by Sean McLaughlin right there. Pete Dillon staying in touch as the top 2 start to inch away, making about 12 car lengths in front of Jeff Wardeman. Is that McLaughlin still on the outside? Yeah, McLaughlin is still up on the high side here, and I don't know if he's coming forwards or going backwards, but I have to kind of think he's going backwards a little at a time. Lap car of Rutherford is right there. Oh, McLaughlin out of shape. Good driving by everybody to keep those cars facing forward straight and under somewhat control after the contact. I'm telling you, the X's of these corners, treacherous, very treacherous, especially when it's this hot. Track temp of 105 at race time. We are now down to 20 laps remaining. Westendorf closing in on Payette for 4th. You can't cut the car that hard and put the power down. That is a big no-no. All the ground he had made up the previous 2 laps, he lost in about 80 feet. Pete Dillon's keeping it at about 4/10. Lap times are identical between these top 2. Top 5 are all at 15.0. There's 15.12 back here. That's Sean McLaughlin in 6th place. But the top 5 are all running right at the same speed, the same lap time, within about 0.02 of one another. 15 more times around. We're starting to get a little spread out here. I think if Dillon is going to have anything to say about this, he is going to have to put the throttle pedal a little closer to the floor. A whole lot sooner. Every single corner. And I just think if you let Connor get out in front, dictate the pace of the race, you're just not going to get him. He's just too good. Gap starting to open up slightly. 3/400ths every single lap now. That time by 15:02 and a 15:10. So we're getting into the closing laps, and Connor's doing what Connor does. Starting to open the gap. Hey, well, he was up front battling pretty good, and then he kind of got a little sideways, Barb. Jeff Wardeman now up to the 3rd spot. Caught and passed John Payette. Big wiggle out of Pete Dillon's car. I'll tell you what, he really almost wrecked that car twice coming out of turn 2, and it opens up the gap to about 1.25 seconds. Wardeman on a little bit of a charge here. Was quite a bit quicker that last lap. We'll see this lap how much quicker he was than everybody else, and he evened out to about the same as the top 2. Payette is still 4th, Westendorf 5th, Oxford, McLaughlin, Hines, and Brunner. Then Rutherford a few laps down. He's running closer to the front, but he's still 2 laps down in 10th. And now Connor really starting to stretch this out. He's still running right at 15.10. And everybody else is starting to get into the 15.2s. Caution! Andrew Rutherford, the 70 car. He is going to put Gordon Connor on the number right now. We'll see what happens. Just looped it. Got a little feisty getting out of that corner. So, wave lap was coming up. 5 to go. I don't think anybody's crazy enough in the top 5 right here to go get tires. They just don't mean that much. We're going to see right back here. Barry Hines is going to be one that goes after him, though. So a 5-lap shootout when we go back to the green. Now let's see if we have a rash of yellows. That has happened. Rutherford with no waiver round this time? I thought for sure he'd get a waiver round. Oh, he was the cause of the caution. You can't get a waiver round if you are the cause. So, yeah, that explains why he did not get a waiver round. Had to think about that. Pace cars out of the way. 5-lap shootout. Green flag back in the air. Dylan got a pretty good start. Connor just got that inside, and I think it's just too much, especially on the older tires. Four to go. Dylan is hanging tough right there on the outside. He's got just enough momentum to keep the car alongside. Little loose coming out of 4. He grabs it. That opens the door and lets Dylan Connor squeak on by. Werdeman now is in a fight for third, and we're going to catch caution. Sean McLaughlin is going to have a problem. Going to be 3 wide here. Hines went to the inside. Oh, yeah, got right into that left rear corner. Don't hit anything, don't hit anything. Just nick the fence right there. So that takes us to lap number 58, and Randy Brunner is now the boy on the bubble. Whew. Good fight out of Pete Dillon. But that one little mistake coming out of turn number 4. I thought he was going to end up right hooking the 91 car. There goes your wave around for Rutherford. That'll get him back to 1 lap down. He's got to pray for one more caution in this 2-lap shootout. Connor, Dillon, Werdeman, Payette, Oxford, Westendorf, Brunner, McLaughlin, Hines, lead lap cars, and then Rutherford, that one single lap down. All right. Pace car ducks hard left. 2-lap shootout. That's all that remains. And the green flag. Can Pete Dillon get a little better start this time? He got through the gears pretty good. Gonna have to get out of turn number 2 with a big head of steam, and I think Connor's got just enough left in those tires on the 91 car to pull this thing off right here. Dylan got a little wide in 3 and 4, and that was just enough because now he's going to have to try to cross over, and the car just wouldn't stick. White flag was in the air that time. Dylan Connor wins once again. Dylan second, and Werdeman by about a quarter car takes third over Payette. Oxford was fifth. Brunner 6th, Westendorf 7th, Hines 8th, McLaughlin in 9th, Rutherford 10th, and Marvin Turnmeyer rounds out the field. I'm trying to figure out who is going to be. Oh, man, you guys, guess what? We're going to be able to get down here. And let's see if we can get a little closer. We want to get a lot closer to this car. We really do. That's a pretty good shot right there. Our rando driver. We'll get him. Let's see if we can find the rest of these guys. Put them in the waiting room. And Jeff Werdeman. They can all get there, and then we'll grab our rando driver of the evening, John Brunner. You got a copy?
I copy, Roger.
6th place tonight, up 3 from your starting spot. This place looked like it was pretty slick all the way around all night.
Yeah, it was. You had to be real easy getting off the gas, or getting on the gas soft, I should say, coming off the corners. But it was fun. It was some fun racing and good time with these guys.
Just a couple little wrinkles in the fenders on the 46 car. You kept it out of trouble for most of the night, and I'm sure that alone was a challenge.
It is. Sometimes I think I got a target on my back. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Some of it's self-induced, I get that, but it's fun. It's a good time.
Well, no luck is, in essence, bad luck. So at least you've got some kind of luck, my friend. Southern National in the rear view. Are you glad that's over and ready to go to the next one?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I missed a couple weeks with these guys, and I'm back to try and run weekly with them. So definitely looking forward to it.
Well, Randy was in the chat, and he was, telling us that he was telling you got to get in the car every chance you get. So we're glad to see you in here tonight. Give me some shout-outs and thank yous before we let you head out.
Yeah, actually, I got to thank my brothers, Randy specifically, for helping me get going in this. Got to thank our sponsors, Caldwell Banker, AMP, JD7 Motorsports, and Jeff and Marvin for putting this league on and welcoming me in. And, I'm just trying to keep up with these guys and learning every week. And, of course, you too, Roger, for putting on the best broadcast out there.
All right, man. Appreciate it. And thanks for chatting with us. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good, Roger.
John Brunner, our rando driver of the evening. We just get a random driver to interview just because. And he was the chosen one tonight. Now we'll move on to maybe the not chosen one. He had an early spin, but he did a great job recovering from it. He's going to come home on the bottom step of the podium. Jeff Werdeman, interesting night for you.
Yeah. It seems to be feast or famine, usually race nights. Now it seems to be within each race night I have feast or famine runs. Just lucked out there, I think, saving tires. And when that caution came out, me running 5th was able to get me into that top 3 spot there. And then I really had to fight John Payette off there on the end, man. But that was a ton of fun. I probably sweated off about 3 pounds in those last 5 laps trying to gunslinger this wheel around so I can have a nice little cinnamon whiskey when I get back to the hauler.
Oh, well, don't forget to bring the broadcaster one. That's important. Just so you know.
I can do that. Roger.
And for future reference, he's a big whiskey fan. So, FYI. Looked like this place was super slick all night long, and if you got a little bit feisty with the throttle, especially on the exit of these corners, trying to come up out of the hole, it'll sure get away from you quick. We saw a lot of tail wagging.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed, normally you lock yourself right down along the bottom here, but I found that if you were right on those, right on the white line, it was the worst. So I noticed everyone in front of me was maybe about 2 tire widths off the bottom, and all of a sudden man, that made a big difference. It was still a handful coming off. You really had to work the right foot and counter steer a little bit. But yeah, when you're over 100 degrees at this place, she's a handful.
Awesome run, man. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get ready to go celebrate.
Obviously, I'll be bringing up a Gunslinger whiskey up to the booth there. We don't need our BF hammers tonight to pound out anything on the old sheet metal. Also want to thank you, Roger, for everything you do to help promote us and make us look good even when we look like clowns some nights. I appreciate it, and all the fans, and then all the guys that come out and have been supporting us over the years. I appreciate it.
Cool. Well, we did have an over-under winner tonight. You guys hit right on the number for Randy Brunner this evening.
Well, how ironic that our random interview guy happened to be our Brunner, so congratulations, Randy.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. I will look forward to seeing you guys back next Tuesday night.
We are off next week because I have to work at our racetrack, but we will come back the following week with our twin features, Twin 30s at Iowa.
Well, that sounds like a heck of a plan. I'm glad you're giving me a night off. I'll have to plan work for that.
I'll send you a bottle of Gunslinger.
I'm all about it, dude, and I will give it a critique live on the air.
Copy that.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Werdeman finishing in third. Now let's talk to a guy. I feel like he ought to get a win just because of that paint on that car, but he fought hard. He's going to come home second. Pete Dillon, it's been a while.
Yes, sir, it has. Feels good to be talking to you.
Well, the car looks great, and I told everybody on the broadcast that I am an Alan Kulwicki fan. I have been my entire life. I have so much admiration for that guy. And when I see one of those Hooters paint schemes on the track, unless it's on Sunday on that ugly number 9 car, I really cheer for it. And you got some pretty good camera time because of that alone tonight.
Nice, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was a pretty big Alan fan. I liked him a lot, and actually, I don't know if you know this, but Alan Kulwicki was the following season before he died, got a sponsorship from Matco Tools, and I actually have that diecast.
Yeah, I think I have one as well locked away in a box somewhere because those are worth a lot. It doesn't matter what size they are. They're worth a lot because they are very rare and very unique. Man, your race tonight was pretty good. You charged all the way from the back. No qualifying. Do you have? Did you just have troubles, or was there a reason you didn't qualify this evening?
I had a penalty from last season at Martinsville during qualify. Stopped on the track and didn't exit the pit road, so yeah, I deserved that.
Well, bad dog, no biscuit, obviously, but it didn't seem to matter much. You charged all the way from the back, and just those last couple restarts, old tires, and, being on the outside, if you can't do it perfect, the guy on the inside's got a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, only way I could have beat Dylan is if I had fresh tires, and he didn't. That guy's just crazy good. I gave him a run for his money. I tried as hard as I could to get there. I just couldn't get it done, but we'll settle for second.
Well, you had a pucker moment I wanted to ask you about coming out of turn 4. It was before the second to the last caution. You got a little, or right as we restarted from that, you got a little sideways and you almost right hooked him. Were you grit and bear it and just try to stay as much out as you could?
Yeah, that was rough. It was pretty scary. I was actually talking to him while we were sitting here waiting in the waiting room. Yeah, I just got really, really free, and I definitely got into his right rear a little bit, and I checked up hoping he would save the car, and he did, so we got to continue on racing.
Well, a great run tonight, man. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you go celebrate. Please keep that paint on the car for a while.
I'll do it. I'm actually a little embarrassed to be driving a Ford, though. I'm kind of a Chevy guy. But, yeah, I want to thank Caldwell Banking for sponsoring the race, and Era and all the guys for putting the league on and creating a good show for you to broadcast. And I'd like to thank my fiancée, Paula, for letting me do this. And, it ain't cheap. And it's cheaper than a real car, but it still ain't cheap. And Priority One HVAC for being on the car tonight.
All right, man. Congrats on a great run. Thanks for chatting with us. And that is just badging. You could get the headlights and the logo changed. That'd be pretty simple, dude. Just saying.
All right, man. Thank you. You have a good night.
You too. Pete Dillon finishing in second. And now we'll talk to the guy that seems to spend a lot of time here. I can't believe they don't have a hot shoe rule in this series, man. It feels like the 91 wins every single week. I know that's not true, but, man, you did it again tonight, and you did exactly what you needed to do. You got out front and just controlled this thing. But this place is still pretty tricky, even off the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, as the track, I checked the track temp right before the race and showed it was going to consistently rise. So I was like, man, if I can get out there and get a gap and just kind of baby these things, because I knew by the end of the race it was going to be hot and slick, and it was. I saved, and it was still pretty hot and slick, but I just knew if I could keep the bottom all race long, that was going to be the key. The top you can make work for, I'd say, about 2 laps, and then once it got hot, it just got really free up there.
Well, you had a restart late in this one, and Dillon was on the outside. You're coming out of turn number 4. I know you had to feel it when he got into the right rear. I want to know how much of the stands were you looking at out the windshield?
Yeah, it definitely it knocked the wheel out my hand a little bit. I was able to kind of drag the brake and just keep it straight. It's just part of hard racing. I mean, if it was to happen where I ended up in the wall, man, I know he's giving it his all. I'm giving it my all. And then, like I said, knowing how the top was, I was trying to give as much room as I could, and I'm just glad it worked out for both of us. Pete's, he's a good guy to race with. He's going to do everything he can to race you clean. So, just glad it turned out good.
Well, an awesome run, man. You're going to pick up another win here. Give me your shout-outs, your thank yous, and we'll let you go celebrate.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for being up in the booth for us as always. I want to thank Marv and Jeff for everything they do for the league sponsors, A&P Graydon, Gunslinger Whiskey. I like to thank my sponsors, Per Year Race Parts, and my sponsor, Caldwell, Chris and Alan Puryear with Caldwell Banker Elite. They actually sponsored the race tonight as well, so always a little bit sweeter you can win on your sponsors night. And I want to thank my family and friends and fiance for all supporting me, and my dad spotting for me.
All right, man. Congrats on another win, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks back here on Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is your race winner, the 91 of Dillon Connor. I feel like that's win number 450 or something, because he wins a lot. Every time we see him, he wins. Pretty much. I mean, I bet his average finish is probably like 1.1 or 1.2 in all the races over all the series that we have him in. So he is one hell of a wheel man. So congrats to him. Randy Brunner, you need to send a message to the page with your information. We'll add you to the outgoing mail for your over-under win tonight. And once again, I'm going to say, Caleb Dyer, if anybody knows him, have him reach out to me, because he has a cup, but I don't have an address. If I don't get one pretty soon, it's going to be mine. Either way, another awesome Tuesday night in the books. Want to thank you all for being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this. Without the awesome leagues giving us great racing like we saw again here tonight. Nothing for us to cover. High fives, pats on the back all the way around. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night about the same time, 8:15 Eastern, for the Midwest Truck Series. You'll see the Lumber Dude Limousine back in action, coming off of his win at Lime Rock last week. Until we see you the next time, peace and love to everyone.